It's interesting. We're talking about these British Lions, as I'm now going to term these young guys who are getting arrested, the same thing happened in Hong Kong. Remember the Hong Kong? The Hong Kong. A lot of these brave young Hong Kong guys went out there and got arrested. It didn't, unfortunately, didn't work in the end. But a lot of my sons came with me. Two of my sons. And I said, "Oh, what are your friends thinking about all this?" To my younger one, who's 22, Tom. What are your friends thinking? They're not happy. They agree with me, Dad. That I said, well, why aren't they coming? They're scared. They're scared of facial recognition. They're scared they're going to lose their jobs. They're scared of whatever. They want to be there, Dad, but they can't. They don't. They don't want to get involved. Now, this is what you've done, Starmer, you bastard. What you've actually done is you've actually scared the youth of this country to actually go and demonstrate. You've actually scared your population into not wanting to express their feelings on the streets by your approach to what's going on. That's what they've done.
They have, and that's been going on for decades, but it's changing. You only have to look at the Tommy Robinson march. 10 years ago, never would have happened. 10 years ago, half the people who went on that march wouldn't have gone on that march if it was led by Tommy Robinson, because they were fearful. I don't want to be classed as a racist, a Nazi, and stuff like that. But things have moved on so much now that people are going, well, I've heard about Tommy Robinson now. I've seen the documentaries. I've seen his interviews. What's he said that's wrong? What's he said that I disagree with? Nothing. They are targeting him to teach me a lesson. So people are beginning to realise that now. And I've said many times, Tommy Robinson has the right messages. He's just the wrong messenger.
Yeah.
He's easy to criticise because of his past. But he's got more publicity now. Things are changing. It won't be that long now until those friends of your sons are on demonstrations.
You think so?
Once the violence dies down,
then
I can see more people turn up to those demonstrations.
Yeah, and I think my son's going, because his friends sort of laugh at me because of my views. I think they support a lot of what I say and a lot of what you say. A lot of them now watching these videos, by the way, yes. And they agree with most of the things that are being said. And whilst they have a laugh or a joke or whatever, I think it will also embolden them a bit more to think, well, maybe, if Tom's doing it, if Tom's dad's doing it, maybe I should do it as well. So I think that's why another reason I think it's important to do these things. And I've actually spoke when I've had a few meetings this week. People said, "Oh, how did your weekend go?" And I said, "Yeah, it was a good weekend. I went on a Enough is Enough march," and nobody has said to me, "You fascist bastard," or whatever. I'm not just talking about people who work for me. I'm talking about other people as well. In fact, one guy, a partner in a law firm in Manchester, a litigation partner. I said I went on Enough is Enough. I won't tell you his name. I went on Enough march. He said, "All right, good, well done." He said. I said all that stuff about the far right. It's an absolute He said, "Lindsay, I know." He said, I have done multiple litigations against the papers. I don't believe a single word I read in the papers or see on TV. This is a litigation lawyer, highly qualified, highly educated partner.
Yeah.
He doesn't believe a word he reads in the papers. He said, the lies that they come up with, I've seen it. I've actually prosecuted them for these behaviours. He said, I totally know. I know exactly what you're saying. I know it's not far right people, but so people know. They're not stupid.
People have always known, and we can see that across Eastern Europe 20, 30 years ago with the fall of communism. They lived in countries where there was authoritarian rule, where the press was 100% propaganda, and you wouldn't speak to strangers about politics in case they were an informer. But between your family and friends, you had those conversations. You tuned into the BBC World Service because it was half decent in those days. You wouldn't do it now. It's social media now. And they knew what was going on. It's just that they had to play the game of, I don't believe these things and I need to be a party person. But no one believed it. But what happened in all those countries was it got to a tipping point. And when those countries fell and those regimes fell, they fell overnight. And nearly, I think all of them fell without a shot being fired. Because suddenly, you see the emperor's new clothes and everyone goes, it's naked. And I just found out everybody else knows they're naked. What are we afraid of now? And suddenly overnight, the elite become afraid and they run away. It happened across Eastern Europe. It's happened in many countries, and that's what will happen here eventually. But we're building up pressure in steam, and it always takes very courageous people at the beginning to do stuff.
Yeah.
And then other people join in, which then gives other people confidence to join.
Yeah.
And you get to a tipping point, and these regimes fall extremely easily and quickly once you reach that tipping point. But you're right, at the moment, lots of people know this is all BS. They don't believe a word in the press. They know they're not far right.
Are you getting, when you're talking to people, are you getting that sense as well?
I've been getting it for years.
Right.
Yeah.
But recently, I mean, in terms of what's gone on the last few weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting a kind of mixed message from you here, Nick, because you and I have talked about this for a long, and I've come to previous chats of ours, and I've said, when is this going to end, Nick? It's just that, or whatever, and you said, oh no, this is going to go on for whatever. I'm getting a kind of glimpses from you, and a few of our exchanges on WhatsApp as well, where your view is changing. I think you're almost seeing that this could happen maybe faster than you thought it would happen a few months ago or a year ago. I'm getting a slight nuance change in your view. There was something you sent me, I can't remember what it was, and I said you'd written a great article. I read it, and I can't remember what it was now.
About Civil War.
About the Civil War, New England Civil War, and I think you've turned the corner, Nick, here, because your views seem to have your views seem to have shifted slightly into thinking maybe something could be coming faster than maybe I think.
To a certain extent, you're correct. I think the differential here is I've always been talking about what could come. I think what's happened now is this is the beginning of it. So we're at the beginning of the beginning.
Yeah.
If anyone's thinking this is a month for a year fight, they're wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
This is going to be at least 2 election cycles. So I think we're looking at a good part of the decade.
Yeah.
But this could be the beginning of the beginning. So now I'm talking in that context now, that things are changing. Up to a couple of weeks ago, I was always edging my bets that this may come, something may happen, but things have happened now.
Yeah.
I can't think another time in my lifetime, but even longer, unless we go back to the peasants' revolt and things like that, where we've got white people in this country rioting
on the streets. Yeah.
When?
Yeah.
Lots of riots in this country.
Yeah.
But they're always instigated by immigrants.
Yeah.
All the riots in the 80s, early 80s, Toxteth, Moss Side, race riots in Oldham. These are, the BLM riots in London. These are all instigated by ethnic minorities. I can't think of another time where it's been white people, and it's happening now. And for us to be at that point where white people are doing that, something's changed, something's happened.
Yeah.
And I don't mean the 3 dead kids, I mean something, a societal
level
has changed.
Something has happened, because you made the point before. We've talked about the Manchester bombings before, and the reaction to that I found unbelievable, that nobody was angry and rioting on the streets. And I think at the time you said, oh, blah, 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 whatever. I think you said, no, it's going to happen. Now, 22 people died in that. More than 3 little girls died in that one. More than 3 little girls died in that. This one, it's just 3 girls have been murdered. The reaction is completely different.
Oh, it builds on it.
Yes.
So that was the final straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't have happened if everything else that had gone on hadn't have happened.
Yes.
But we're a very tolerant nation, and we put up with a lot, and we're very forgiving, and we like to believe there's good in people, and we want to live in a civilised society and get on with our neighbours. And we keep accepting it. We keep accepting bombs. We keep accepting rapes. We keep accepting crime. We keep accepting 22 kids dying at a concert. And finally, 3 girls are stabbed to death. 6 others are severely injured. And that's the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't take any more.
And the pathetic media as well, they're saying, oh, yeah, but he's not a Muslim. They don't get it, do they? It's not about the fact he's a Muslim. It's about the fact the guy is a product of uncontrolled immigration.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about 10 million people in the past 10 years coming into this country in an uncontrolled manner, not being integrated into the country, allowed to bring all sorts of cultural behaviours that are not appropriate or have never fitted in this country. That's what this is about. This is not about the fact he's a Muslim. It doesn't matter that he's a Muslim. Everybody knew there would be some foreigner connection to this guy. We knew it would not be an English guy who had done this, a British guy.
You knew it wasn't far right.
Yeah, correct. Yes, which doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And I think that's the point. And these pathetic, mainstream media saying, oh, he's not a Muslim, he's Rwandan, they're mostly Christian. Well, it's just bollocks. That's not the point, and they don't get it. They don't seem to get it.
We all presumed he was Muslim because Muslims are killing people.
Yeah.
And it sounded like a Muslim attack. But you're right, he wasn't a Muslim as far as we know. But that isn't the issue. These demonstrations are not an anti-Islam demonstration. They're an anti-immigration demonstration. I've talked about, last episode I talked about the French white guy masturbating in a park. He wasn't deported. I want him deported.
Yeah, of course.
And the Albanian woman who stabbed a 6-year-old to death in a park, I want her deported.
Yeah.
But when we talk about immigration, it's easy to shut people down by saying, oh, you mean black and brown people, you're a racist. Like, no, I mean black and brown people, as well as all the white and yellow people I want deporting.
We'll have the black and brown people, as well as everybody else who's a criminal, basically sent. Yeah, of course we will. Yeah, no problem.
Did you enjoy that video? I think you did. Come on now, hit that bell, subscribe, comment. Let's build this channel. I need more followers. I need more subscribers. Be part of the journey. See you soon.